Okay, good afternoon to all. Welcome to the section of the engineering mechanics. This is the next lab, that is lecture number 3. In the last class, what we have seen, that is the syllabus of the engineering mechanics. What is there we are in the engineering mechanics and what we are going to study in this future classes in this semester. Okay, so there you have seen section 1 and section 2. Section 1 में there are 4 units and section 2 में there are 4 units. You have written the syllabus also, and we have started in the last class what is mechanics and what is engineering mechanics, what is statics, and what is dynamics. Can anybody tell me what is mechanics? Yes, anyone can unmute and tell me. Yes.
Branch of physical science which deals with study of forces which are in motion or at rest.
Yes, it is a branch of physical science or physics which deals with the study of forces and nature of forces when the body is in rest or motion. Okay. Can anybody tell me what is statics? Static
Sir,
means
at rest, sir.
Yes, study of forces when the body is under rest condition. Okay, body is not moving anywhere. Then can you tell me what is dynamics?
At motion.
Body at motion.
Yes, all of you interact. Okay, when the body, it is a study of the forces when the body is under motion. Okay, when the body is under motion, at that time there are different conditions. Okay, what are the two different conditions, or the what?
Kinetics and kinematics.
And kinematics.
Kinematics. Yes, in the dynamics again there are two types. One is kinetics and kinematics. Yes. One is kinetics and one is kinematics. See, what is dynamics? Dynamics is a branch of engineering, engineering mechanics, which deals with the study of forces and their effect acting on the body, which is in motion when the body is under motion. Okay, again this dynamics is classified into two types. One is kinetics and one more is kinematics. This kinetics means what? What is this kinetics? Kinetics is a branch of dynamics which deals with the study of forces and their effect acting on the body when the body is under motion by considering the forces and masses, by considering the mass of the body and forces which are causing the motion. Wait, your student, some more students are now joining. Okay, what is kinetics? It is a branch of dynamics which deals with the study of the forces and their effect acting on the body when the body is under motion by considering the mass of the body and forces which are causing the motion. If the body mass and forces are considered, then it is called as kinetics. Okay, mass of the body and forces which are causing the motion, if we are considering the both in the analysis, then that is called as kinetics. What is kinematics? Kinematics is it is a branch of dynamics which deals with the study of forces and their effect acting on the body which is in motion when the body is under motion without considering the mass of the body and the forces acting on the body. So when the body is under motion, see, this is a one body. Now the body is under motion. Why it is in motion? Because of there are some external forces that are acting on this body. That's why this body is under motion. But I want to study the forces of this. I have to study the branch of the dynamics which deals with the study of forces and their effect where it is moving. Okay, that is study we have to do, but without considering the mass of this body ka mass we are not considering, and the forces which are causing the motion. Okay, with considering the masses we can call it as kinetics. Without considering the masses we can call it as kinematics. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll move to next slide. So this was the syllabus, unit number 1, a resultant of coplanar forces. So this was the syllabus which is there in the syllabus in this first unit. Okay, now about the title we'll study. What is the first title of the subject? This title of the subject is
Resultant of
resultant of coplanar forces. Resultant of
Okay.
coplanar forces. So we will study what is the resultant of coplanar forces and all. So first about the title, we study about the title. What is the coplanar forces? Resultant of coplanar forces. Resultant of coplanar forces. First, we have to study what is forces. Force means what we'll study. Okay, can anybody tell force means what? So already you have studied in the science, physics. Okay, force is an external agency which changes the state of the body, changes the state of the body. Suppose consider this is a one body. Okay, pen. Is it visible? Pen. Pen, is it visible? No, in the
Yes.
Yes, sir.
okay. Now it is a one body. So the state is how this is in static motion, static condition. It is not moving anywhere. So this state will change. The iska state will change when this force. Wait, some more students are adding. The state will change. It's the state will change when an external agency acting upon this body. Then only the state will change. So that's what I have told. Force is an external agency which changes the state of the body. So if now it is in static motion, static condition. So in order to change its state, we have to act a force upon. Suppose I am acting force on this. Now it is inclined state. Now it is in inclined horizontal state. Now it is in inclined state. So when initially it was in vertical state. Okay. When it is in inclined state, when the external force is applied, it is in inclined. Again, when the external force is applied, it is in horizontal. Okay. When the external force is applied, it is in vertical. I say. So the force will change.
Sir, can't hear you properly, sir.
Yeah?
Can't hear you properly.
You cannot hear me properly. Okay. अभी hello, clear है voice?
हाँ sir, yes.
Okay. So suppose think that this is one body. Okay. So this is body है. So this is in static condition में है. अभी external force डालने के बाद इसका state इधर से इधर वो हो गया. State is changed. This external agency को क्या बोलते? Force. Okay. Is it clear? So one more example. The
Yes,
body is
sir.
in under motion. अभी देखो, the body is under motion means a vehicle. Think that this is a vehicle. Vehicle is moving from one point to another point. अभी ऐसे movement में है, okay, it will be under motion only. When this motion will change into static, when it is acted upon force. So इसका उल्टा एक force डाले तो this motion resist हो जाएगा. So this will become static. Okay, static. So external agency which changes the state of the body is called as force. Okay. Next, what is coplanar force? Coplanar forces. Coplanar force means the force or the system of forces. So एक ही force है तो only force बोलते हैं. There are two different, two or more than two forces है तो इसको एक system of forces बोलते हैं. Okay. Force or system of forces whose line of action lies in a single plane. Now we will study what is single plane. So you have studied in your mathematics. There are three planes. There are three axes. One is x-axis, one is y-axis, one more is z-axis. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So if you consider any plane, the plane is always represented in two dimension. So along x and y. So the plane, if you consider, so if I draw the diagram, so this is y, this is x-axis. So is it visible in the figure PPT? X
Yes.
and y.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So this is x-axis, this is y-axis. This plane is called as what? XY plane. So XY means it is only two dimension. So this plane is what? XY. If I consider this one more, this is Z. This plane is what? XZ plane. Correct. This is XZ plane. This is XY plane. And what about this one? What is this one? This is YZ plane. YZ plane. Okay, so coplanar, always planar means it is acting in the only one plane. Okay, coplanar force means the force or the system of forces whose line of action lies in a single plane. अभी देखो इधर एक फोर्स है, इधर देखो, हाँ इधर आई विल ड्रा दिस वन, देयर इज वन फोर्स आर. ओके, दिस आर फोर्स इज देयर, दिस फोर्स एंड इट्स लाइन ऑफ एक्शन. लाइन ऑफ एक्शन मतलब इधर एक पॉइंट नहीं तो इसका डायरेक्शन कैसे रहता था, ऐसे हो जाता ना, ऐसे ऐसे ऊपर. दिस इज ए डायरेक्शन को क्या बोलते हैं, लाइन ऑफ एक्शन. अभी इधर स्टॉप कर दिया इधर लाइन, सो इन केस ये स्टॉप नहीं किया तो ये डायरेक्शन कैसे रहता था, ऐसे रहता था ना. सो दैट इज कॉल्ड एज लाइन ऑफ एक्शन. इज इट विजिबल ना इन द पीपीटी?
Yes,
डॉटेड
sir.
लाइन,
Yes, sir.
Yes.
ये डॉटेड लाइन को क्या बोलते हैं, लाइन ऑफ एक्शन ऑफ फोर्सेस. लाइन ऑफ एक्शन ऑफ फोर्स, ये फोर्स आर है ना, उसका लाइन ऑफ एक्शन तो ऐसे डायरेक्शन में है, ऐसे बोलने का. नेक्स्ट, कोप्लेनर फोर्सेस मींस ऐसे एक डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ फोर्सेस व्हिच आर लाइंग इन द सेम प्लेन. अभी देखो, सो दिस इज वन फोर्स, दिस फोर्स एंड दिस इज वन मोर फोर्स. ओके, दिस इज वन मोर फोर्स. अभी देखो, आई विल टेक वन मोर फोर्स, दिस इज वन मोर फोर्स. इन विच प्लेन इट इज लाइंग? These are lying in the xy plane. So this is what? This is y plane. This is y axis. This is x axis, and this is z axis. Okay. So this plane is what? This is xy plane. So all this f1, f2, f3 are lying in the only xy plane. Means these are coplanar forces. These are coplanar forces. See the definition. Coplanar force means the forces or a force of a system of forces whose line of action lies in single plane. Clear this one? All the forces should lie in a same plane. है तो इसको भी क्या बोलते हैं? Coplanar forces. Next, resultant of force which replaces a number of forces having the same effect as that of the original force is called as resultant. See, resultant means what? Resultant is अभी एक ना मैंने एक डायग्राम निकलते. So think that there is a one body. Okay, so there is a one body, and for this body there is a force. This is F1 force. This is F1 force which is acting on this body. There is a one more force. This is one more force. So which is acting on this body. एक फोर्स ऐसे खींच रहे और एक फोर्स ऐसे खींच रहे. ये बॉडी कहाँ कैसे मूव हो जाएगा? अलोंग F1 में जाते क्या और अलोंग द F2 में जाते हैं? It will not go along the F1 or along the F2. It will go somewhere in between the F1 and F2. I will take it as resultant R. So that is resultant is nothing but what? It is a result of two forces or more than two also. You can see resultant is it is a force which replaces the number of forces. अभी देखो F1 and F2, this resultant is a force. This is replacing the F1 and F2. F1 and F2 जगह पे नहीं जाते. body will move in a resultant direction because this resultant is the effect of F1 and F2. Okay, resultant is a force which replaces a number of forces having the same effect as that of the original forces. What are the original forces? F1 एक original force है, F2 एक original force है. इसका इफेक्ट क्या है ना बॉडी के ऊपर, वैसे ही रिजल्टेंट का इफेक्ट भी रहता. ओके, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज रिजल्टेंट. क्लियर? रिजल्टेंट मींस व्हाट सभी को? सभी को? यस.
सर रिपीट बताइए.
ओके, मैंने देखो अभी आई विल टेक एन एग्जांपल. दिस इज वन नोटबुक. ओके, आई विल this is one force is acting on this body and there is one more force is acting body. So this body force is acting but this body will not go like this. ये either ऐसे एक फोर्स डालने का, ऐसे फोर्स डालने के बाद ये बॉडी विल नॉट गो लाइक दिस. ये बॉडी विल गो इन वर्टिकल डायरेक्शन. क्यों वर्टिकल में जा रहे हैं? अभी मैंने इंक्लाइन फोर्स डाल दिया था ना, ऐसे जाना है तो नहीं है बिकॉज देयर इज अ रिजल्टेंट, द इफेक्ट ऑफ दीस टू फोर्स. इधर एक फोर्स है, इधर एक फोर्स है, ये दोनों का फोर्स ऐसे वर्टिकल डाउन होने थे. So this vertical में जाता है ना, that is called as resultant force. Okay, so resultant force मतलब क्या है? Resultant is it is a force which replaces. ये replace कौन सा क्या replace करते थे? ये F1 force है, F2 force है. ये दोनों का force रिप्लेस करते हैं, that is called as that is called as your resultant. और वन मोर एग्जांपल में देते हैं। अभी देखो आपका 12th हो गया, 12th में देर आर डिफरेंट डिफरेंट सब्जेक्ट, फिजिक्स, केमिस्ट्री, मैथमेटिक्स और बायोलॉजी, ठीक है। ईच ईच सब्जेक्ट में डिफरेंट डिफरेंट मार्क्स आया था ना, बट योर फाइनल एवरेज का इतना आया। एवरेज मतलब इट इज एवरेज ऑफ ऑल द फोर्सेस, करेक्ट। एवरेज ऑफ ऑल द मार्क्स इज नथिंग बट सम परसेंटेज आ गए ना आपको। वैसे ही दिस रिजल्टेंट इज एवरेज ऑफ दिस F1 and F2. Now it is clear everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
तो
sir.
ईच इंडिविजुअल किया तो इंडिविजुअल सेपरेट सेपरेट रहता, ईच मार्क्स का सेपरेट सेपरेट सब्जेक्ट में अलग अलग रहता, बट एवरेज कंसिडर किया तो एवरेज इज नथिंग, इट इज अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ ऑल द सब्जेक्ट मार्क्स। अभी देखो, अभी इन केस यू आर गेटिंग वन सब्जेक्ट, देयर आर 4 सब्जेक्ट, इन सब्जेक्ट 1 2 3 4 you are getting 50 60 70 80. Okay, 50 60 70 80, these are the 4 different marks, but average will be your 75 or 70. Okay, so 70 is what your average, that is average of all the forces. I say resultant is always, it is a average. It is always, it replaces the number of forces having the same effect as that of the original forces.
Okay, sir. Understand हो गया.
ओके, इधर देखो, सो दीज आर द सिस्टम ऑफ फोर्सेस। अभी देखो इधर एक फोर्स है, इधर एक फोर्स है, इधर एक फोर्स है, सो इसको क्या क्या बोलते हैं वो नेक्स्ट स्लाइड में दिखेंगे। नेक्स्ट, सेंट्रल आइडिया ऑफ दिस चैप्टर। अभी देखो इन द लास्ट क्लास, लास्ट चैप्टर स्लाइड में क्या देखा हमने, अबाउट द टाइटल ऑफ द सब्जेक्ट, टाइटल ऑफ द चैप्टर, इस चैप्टर का मतलब क्या है, रिजल्टेंट ऑफ कोप्लेनर फोर्सेस हम देखे थे। अभी इस स्लाइड में देखें, in this chapter the basic terminology related to engineering mechanics is explained. Central idea, ये चैप्टर का सेंट्रल मेन मोटो क्या है, आइडिया क्या है वो देखने का। different laws to find out the different laws to find out resultant of force system और आल्सो डिस्कस्ड। अभी देखो ये रिजल्टेंट मैंने बता दिया ना, सो रिजल्टेंट कैसे फाइंड आउट करने का, देयर इज सम रूल्स नो, और कैसे फाइंड आउट करने का, देयर इज सम लॉज, सो देयर आर डिफरेंट डिफरेंट लॉज टू फाइंड आउट द रिजल्टेंट ऑफ फोर्स सिस्टम। ओके, वो रिजल्टेंट फाइंड आउट करने के लिए देयर आर डिफरेंट लॉज है, वो स्टडी करेंगे हम। द रिजल्टेंट ऑफ फोर्स एंड द मोमेंट ऑफ कोप्लेनर कंकरेंट फोर्सेस। कोप्लेनर कंकरेंट, कोप्लेनर मैंने बता दिया आपको, मींस there is a force or system of forces acting in the same plane is called as coplanar force. What is concurrent? Concurrent मतलब क्या है, अभी देखो there is a one force, there is one force, there is one more force, there is one more force, okay, there is one more force. Whether all these 3 forces are acting at the same point, अभी तीनों फोर्स एक ही पॉइंट से एक्ट हो रहेगा नहीं, but when you take the line of action, when you take the line of action of all these forces, if they are acting in the same point, then that is called as concurrent forces. now देखो ये फोर्स, ये एक फोर्स, ये एक फोर्स, तीनों फोर्स इधर एक्ट हो रहे हैं ना, so this is called as concurrent forces. Always you can say the system of forces which are acting at a point, only one point में act हुआ तो that is called as concurrent forces. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड में मैंने एग्जांपल्स वगैरह देते आपको, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज कंकरेंट। अभी देखो वन मोर, कोप्लेनर एंड नॉन कंकरेंट। कोप्लेनर मींस ओनली सेम प्लेन, दिस इज एक्स एंड दिस इज वाई, एक्स एंड वाई प्लेन, बट इधर एक फोर्स है, इधर एक फोर्स आए, इधर एक फोर्स है, इधर एक फोर्स है, सो ऐसे लाइन ऑफ एक्शन देखो, इधर इसका ऐसे हो जाएगा, इसका लाइन ऑफ एक्शन इधर हो गया, इसका लाइन ऑफ एक्शन कैसे हो जाता, देखो इसका लाइन ऑफ एक्शन ऐसे है, इसका लाइन ऑफ एक्शन ऐसे है, इसका लाइन ऑफ एक्शन ऐसे है जा रहा है, विद द तीनों फोर्स का लाइन ऑफ एक्शन एक ही पॉइंट में एक्ट हो रहेगा
नहीं.
नहीं, दिस फोर्स एंड दिस फोर्स का लाइन ऑफ एक्शन इधर है, बट दिस फोर्स एंड दिस फोर्स का लाइन ऑफ एक्शन इधर मीट हो रहे हैं, बट तीनों फोर्स एक ही पॉइंट में मीट नहीं हो रहे, इट मींस दिस इज नॉन कंकरेंट फोर्स सिस्टम। क्लियर दिस वन? दिस वन आल्सो वी विल डिस्कस इन द subsequent slides, we'll see later. So what you will study here, resultant of coplanar and coplanar concurrent force system and coplanar non-concurrent force system you will study here. देखो, so these are the concurrent force system. See what is how it is. There are how many forces? This is F1 force, this is F2 force, this is F3 force. F1 force ऐसे जा रहे, but F2 force नीचे जा रहे, F3 force ऐसे जा रहे. But when you take the line of action of these forces, this is F3 force का, F1 force का, F2 force का. All these are acting in from the only one point. Correct? This is called as concurrent force system. This is called as concurrent force system. अभी clear हो गए ना सभी को? What is concurrent force system?
Yes,
sir.
Yes,
All
sir.
the forces or the line of action of the forces which are acting at the same point is called as concurrent forces. अभी देखो इधर एक प्लेन है, A प्लेन, ओके, एक प्लेन है, ये प्लेन का there are different forces. अभी देखो F1 force it is going downward, F2 force it is going inclined, F3 force it is going somewhere, F4 force, F5 F6. अभी देखो मैंने F6 का ऐसे देखते लाइन ऑफ एक्शन फोर्सेस, F4 का ऐसे है, F3 का ऐसे है, F2 का ऐसे है, F1 का ऐसे, F5 का ऐसे. Whether all the F1 to F6 सभी forces are acting at a one point? सभी फोर्सेस
No,
जो है
sir.
लाइन ऑफ एक्शन निकाले तो एक ही पॉइंट पे एक्ट होता है क्या? नो, इट मींस व्हाट? इट इज कॉल्ड एज नॉन कंकरेंट फोर्सेस सिस्टम. नॉन कंकरेंट फोर्सेस. इज इट क्लियर व्हाट इज कंकरेंट एंड व्हाट इज नॉन कंकरेंट?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
सी कोप्लेनर कंकरेंट. सो अभी व्हाट इज कोप्लेनर, व्हाट इज कंकरेंट, एवरीथिंग दोनों कैसे फाइंड आउट करने का? अभी देखो दिस इज वन पॉइंट, this is एक plane है, so this is which type? This is along x-axis, you can tell. So this is along y-axis, this is along y-axis. Okay, there is one force, the force is in which plane? That if you take along x-axis it is x-axis, if you take this is y-axis, then the resultant force is in xy plane. Correct? ये xy plane concurrent है क्या? नहीं पता नहीं. Okay, that is acting from the original वो, it means it is from the one force. इधर देखो फोर्स ए है along the y direction, फोर्स ए है along the y direction, फोर्स ए है along the x direction, फोर्स बी है. करेक्ट? एंड दिस ए के प्लेन में क्या है? रिजल्टेंट भी है. सो दिस इज रिजल्टेंट भी है. व्हेन यू टेक रिजल्टेंट का लाइन ऑफ एक्शन, फोर्स ए का लाइन ऑफ एक्शन, फोर्स बी का लाइन ऑफ एक्शन, ऑल द थ्री आर एक्टिंग एट द सेम पॉइंट. करेक्ट? इट मींस इट इज कंकरेंट. अब कोप्लेनर हो क्या नहीं? So this is exactly perpendicular, no? This is in x direction, this is in y direction. It means only one plane में है ना? So this is coplanar. This is coplanar concurrent force system. Okay. अभी देखो, this is one trusses. Okay. When you take the in the real figures, real structures, this is one force. One force ऐसे और एक force ऐसे है. So ये दोनों का line of action इधर meet हो रहे हैं ना? So this is what? एक फोर्स ऐसे है, एक फोर्स ऐसे है, दोनों मीट हो रहे. दिस इज कोप्लेनर कंकरेंट फोर्सेस. अभी देखो इधर एक फोर्स हो रहा है, इधर एक फोर्स है, ये दोनों का रिजल्टेंट ऐसे आ गया. सो मींस ऑल आर इन ओनली वन प्लेन. ऑल आर इन ओनली वन प्लेन मींस दिस इज कोप्लेनर कंकरेंट फोर्स सिस्टम. इज इट क्लियर?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
What is coplanar? Coplanar means a force or the number of system of forces which are lying in the same plane. एक ही plane में है तो that is coplanar. Concurrent means number of forces or the line of action of the forces which are meeting at a one point is called as concurrent forces. अभी coplanar concurrent means दोनों club करने का. The number of system of forces which are lying in the same plane and acting at the same point at one point is called as coplanar concurrent force system. Okay. What is the importance of this chapter? अभी इस chapter study करने का क्या important है वो देखने का. So important of this chapter. The chapter is, this chapter gives the idea of the system of forces, couple, moment. So what is the it will give the system of forces. अभी देखो there are different types of forces. There are different types of forces. So what are the different types of forces? You will study in the next slides. So you will study the important idea of the forces. One, next couple, next moment. You will study these 3 points. Okay. Next, composition of forces and resolution of the force system. Resolution means अभी देखो resultant मतलब क्या है बोल दिया मैंने. It is a effect produced from the it's individual forces से effect क्या हुआ गया ना, that is called as resultant आ गया. अभी resolution means resultant से individual forces find out करने का है. Resultant से individual forces find out करने का है. That is called as resolution of forces. That is called as resolution of forces. The composition of forces and the resolution of force, which is essential for the next chapter, second chapter ko, that is very important, that we will study here. Next, due to understanding of this chapter, the student can thoroughly understand the concept of static. अभी ये chapter study करने से, so that you will come to know the what is actual meaning of the statics. You will come to know the concept of statics. You will come to know. Is it clear? What is the importance of this subject? This chapter?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Chapter outcomes. अभी देखो इस चैप्टर स्टडी करने के बाद एट द एंड ऑफ दिस चैप्टर आउटकम्स क्या है. स्टूडेंट्स विल अंडरस्टैंड द फंडामेंटल कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ स्टैटिक्स. स्टडी करने के बाद स्टूडेंट विल अंडरस्टैंड द फंडामेंटल कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ स्टैटिक्स. व्हाट आर द डिफरेंट प्रिंसिपल्स, कॉन्सेप्ट क्या है वो स्टडी करने. स्टूडेंट विल एबल टू अप्लाई द डिफरेंट लॉज related to composition of forces. So there are different laws, so you can apply those fundamental laws on the composition of forces. Next, student will understand the concept of finding the resultant of coplanar forces. So how to find out the coplanar resultant of coplanar forces, you will understand this concept, okay, at the end of this chapter. Next, so this one we have seen what is mechanics, what is engineering mechanics, what is statics, we have seen what is dynamics, what is kinetics, what is kinematics. See, whatever you have written, that everything we can write it in one flow chart. So flow chart is, this is the engineering mechanics subject. Okay, we are having this is engineering mechanics. This engineering mechanics is broadly classified into three categories. One is mechanics of rigid bodies. Second one is mechanics of deformable bodies. Third one is mechanics of fluids. Mechanics is only mechanics means it is a main branch. So in this one, in mechanics of rigid bodies. So what you are going to study in this semester is, that is engineering mechanics. That is nothing but mechanics of rigid bodies. Rigid body मतलब क्या है? अभी मुझे मैं बोलते हैं. So this is one body. So I will apply the force. Okay, I will pull this one. Okay, this is fixed. I will pull like this. After applying the force, whether the length of this object will increase होता क्या length ऐसे pull करने के बाद?
No.
No, sir.
Means
No, sir.
it is rigid body. So whatever we are studying in this semester or in this part, in your mechanics of rigid bodies, only rigid bodies. Whatever forces you can apply, we are applying on the rigid bodies. We are not going for the deformable bodies. Next, I will take one ball. Okay, ball I will take, or elastic ball, or you can take a rubber. So you can apply the force. After applying, you can pull it. The length of the plastic ball or the length of the rubber will increase or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
It will increase.
So that will come under the deformable bodies. So when you remove that force, after remove करने के बाद, again it will regain its shape, correct? So that will mean that is deformable bodies. So that this chapter, this mechanics of deformable bodies, you will study in the higher studies. The people who are from the civil engineering and also from the mechanical engineering, automobile engineering, they will study this mechanics of deformable bodies in the next higher classes, that is in second year and third year. They will study. And one more is mechanics of fluids. अभी देखो एक कंटेनर है, वाटर है, वाटर के ऊपर एक फोर्स डालने के बाद वो फोर्सेस में फ्लूइड डिफॉर्म हो जाता है ना, फ्लूइड डिफॉर्म हो जाए तो सो दैट इज कॉल्ड एज मैकेनिक्स ऑफ फ्लूइड्स. There are three branches in mechanics. One is mechanics of rigid bodies, One is mechanics of deformable bodies, one more is mechanics of fluids. This mechanics of deformable bodies and mechanics of fluids we will study in the higher classes. But as of now, for the first year engineering students, this concept of the mechanics of rigid body is very important. So this is the basic subject for higher study, higher classes. So you have to study clear concept of this mechanics of rigid bodies. Again, this mechanics of rigid bodies is classified into two parts. That is, one is static part and one more is dynamics part. So this is a rigid body. Okay, when this rigid body is in static condition, so it is rest in position, then that at rest condition is called as static. When this rigid body is under motion, then that is called as dynamics. Okay, again this dynamics is classified into two types. One is kinetics and one more is kinematics. So in kinetics में क्या करते हैं? Yes, kinetics में क्या करते हैं? Yes, anyone?
Mass of the body and
Without
forces.
considering the mass.
Without considering or with considering?
Forces.
Without considering or with considering?
With considering mass.
Considering.
With considering.
In kinetics, see, kinetics में we are considering the mass of the body. Okay, in
And
kinetics
forces applying on the body.
and also forces which are applying on the bodies which are in motion. Okay, that both the forces we are considering. One is mass of the body and also forces causing the motion. Those are considering. In the kinematics, we are not considering the mass of the body and also forces which are causing the motion. So these two. In the first section, so section 1 to chapter number 1 to 4, you will study purely on the static part, and chapter number 5 to 8, you will study on the dynamics part. Clear this flow chart?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All of you draw this flow chart in your notebook.
Okay, sir.
Have you brought your notebook or not? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Write this flow chart so that you will come to know clear picture of the mechanics. This mechanics is broadly three parts. आफ्टर फिनिशिंग टेल मी. कंप्लीट होने के बाद बोलिए, नेक्स्ट स्लाइड को जाएंगे. Write it clearly. Mechanics of rigid bodies. First one. Mechanics of rigid bodies. Second one is mechanics of deformable bodies. Mechanics of deformable bodies. In next third one is mechanics of fluids. Mechanics of fluids. Again, mechanics of rigid bodies. There are two parts. One is statics.
झालं, sir.
Okay. Dynamics. Again, this dynamics is two parts. One is kinetics, another one is kinematics. Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Wrong. Shall we go to next slide?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
देखो सिंपल एप्लीकेशंस ऑफ मैकेनिक्स। अभी देखो मैकेनिक्स का एप्लीकेशन कहाँ कहाँ पर रहते हैं। वन इज स्टैटिक्स में और एक इज डायनामिक्स में। So one is statics and one more is dynamics. So static means what? Static means what? The rigid body is under rest condition. अभी देखो, so from this to this point there is a one trusses, means there is a railway track, okay, there is a river, so there is a bridge. कौन सा ब्रिज है वो? रेलवे ट्रैक का ब्रिज है, okay, this bridge, for this bridge there is a trusses, okay, this is called as truss. I was saying in the last class, ट्रस देखा क्या, ट्रस देखा क्या, मैंने बोलता था ना आपको, पूछता था। So this is a truss system. This is truss. This is a steel truss. अभी देखो ये स्टील ट्रस, इसका एक वेट है, इसका एक वेट है, ये दोनों का इधर एक वेट है। सो दिस इज वन फोर्स, ओके। दिस इज कोप्लेनर, कोप्लेनर कंकरेंट फोर्स सिस्टम में आता है, आएगा ना, ओके। दिस इज आल्सो कोप्लेनर कंकरेंट फोर्स सिस्टम, ओके। ऐसे ऐसे स्टैटिक्स, static means it deals with the forces and its effects when the body is under rest. अभी बॉडी क्या है, रेस्ट में। ये बॉडी मूवमेंट हो रहा है क्या, ट्रसेस, ट्रस इज नॉट मूविंग, ट्रस इज देयर एज देयर ओनली, ओके, इट इज इन द रेस्ट पोजीशन, ओके। द फोर्सेस व्हिच आर एक्टिंग, अभी देखो एक ट्रेन ऐसे जाने के बाद इसके ऊपर फोर्स हो जाएगा ना, सो दैट फोर्स वी कैन स्टडी व्हेन द बॉडी इज अंडर रेस्ट कंडीशन। इसको ट्रस ब्रिज भी बोलते हैं इसको, दिस इज ट्रस ब्रिज। नेक्स्ट वन में डायनेमिक्स। सो डायनेमिक्स मींस व्हेन द बॉडी इज अंडर मोशन। अभी देखो दिस इज मशीन है, अभी व्हेन यू स्टार्ट द मशीन दिस इज रोटेटिंग, करेक्ट, दिस इज रोटेट होते रहते हैं ना, इट मींस द बॉडी इज अंडर रेस्ट कंडीशन और मोशन कंडीशन,
Motion condition.
मोशन कंडीशन। ऐसे ऐसे फोर्स भी डालने के बाद सो इट विल मींस इट विल कम्स इन अ पिक्चर ऑफ डायनामिक्स। सो डायनामिक्स इज it deals with the forces and its effect when the body is under moving condition. So there is movement कर रहा था, this will be moving at that time, how the forces and their effect acting on the body when the body is under motion. This is IC engine का। Next में, so now these are the important basic concept. So in order to study the engineering mechanics, first of all we should know some basic concept of some of the terms. So what are those terms and what we will clearly see. First and foremost is body. So अभी देखो हम इंजीनियरिंग मैकेनिक्स में मैक्सिमम वो टर्म्स यूज करते हैं, वो टर्म्स का मीनिंग हम स्टडी करेंगे पहले। So body, always I will see body, body, body. So someone is unmuted, so please mute yourself. G roll number 9, please all of you mute yourself. So body means what? It is an object which has a definite mass, which occupies a definite space, is called as body, okay. So this is a one pen, this is a body, okay. I will tell it is a body. When it is called as a body, it is an object which has a definite mass and which occupies a definite space. So it has a mass, no, when you take it has some mass, and also when you keep it occupies some space also, okay. Always whenever you take any object which is having a mass and also which occupies a definite space is called a object. So this is one object over here, okay. When you take a chalk piece has a mass and it is having a space, okay, it occupies a space, then there is also a body over here. Anything you can take, table, you can take any structural component, okay, column, beam, anything you can take, but it should have mass भी रहने का उसका, बाद में उसका it should occupy a definite space, then that is called as body. Clear what is body means? So see, I will draw a one simple figure. So this is one figure I draw. So इसका mass कितना है, m है, इसका mass कितना है, m है, and it is also moving or it is also occupying a space of this much. So it is body होगा क्या, नहीं, Yes, obviously, because it is a mass m and also it occupies a volume or a space, then it is called as or it is a body. Next, again, this body has a different body, rigid body. What is this rigid body? Hmm? This rigid body means what we will see. So rigid body is a body which does not undergo any change in its dimension or shape after the application of the external force. After the application of the external force. So in the law, अभी देखो, this is a body, okay, this is body. I will apply the force. इधर एक force है, इधर एक force है. ऐसे apply करने के बाद, whether the dimension of this body will change? No, it will not change. Whether the shape of this body will change? ये बॉडी का शेप चेंज है. अभी कैसे शेप है? दिस इज रेक्टेंगुलर शेप. अभी ऐसे एक फोर्स डालने के बाद ये रेक्टेंगल शेप विल कन्वर्ट होता क्या? चेंज होता क्या? नो, it will not change its dimensions, it will not change its shape after the application of the external force. अभी फोर्स डालने के बाद इसका डायमेंशंस एंड इसका शेप चेंज नहीं हुआ तो दैट इज कॉल्ड एज रिजिड बॉडी. दैट इज कॉल्ड एज रिजिड बॉडी. अभी देखो वन मोर एग्जांपल. एक टेबल है और चेयर है. चेयर के ऊपर आप बैठते हैं. बैठने के बाद उसका डायमेंशंस, उसका लेंथ, हाँ, उसका शेप चेंज होता क्या? No, it will not change. It will not change means what? That is rigid body. That is called as rigid body. Clear this rigid body concept?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Next, one more is elastic body. अभी elastic body देखो. ये body that regains its original dimensions. That regains, which is important. This underline the word. Regains its original dimensions after the removal of the external applied force is called as elastic body. It's called as elastic body. अभी देखो, I will take one pipe, that is plastic pipe, which is stretchable. Stretchable एक pipe रहता ना, और you can take a rubber. Best example is rubber. अभी rubber को एक force डाल दो. Force डालने के बाद ऐसे खींचो. खींचने के बाद इसका length change होता ना? होता क्या नहीं?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it will
Sir.
change its length and it will change its dimension also. But when you remove this force, I say force डालने के बाद it will change dimension. When you remove its shape, the body will regain its shape, original shape only. After force remove करने के बाद ये body कैसे था पहले, original shape कैसे था वैसे ही हो जाएगा. That is called as elastic body. Are you getting the difference between the rigid body and elastic body? Rigid body में क्या होता?
Yes, sir.
After applying the forces, the body will not change its shape and dimension. But in case of elastic body, when you apply the forces on the body will change its dimension. And when you remove the forces, the body will regain its original shape and size. Then that is called as elastic body. Clear this one? Elastic body matlab?
Yes,
Yes.
sir. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Next, one more term is there, that is called as rigid. Okay, plastic body. Plastic body means what? Dekho, plastic body. So that is also comes. So think that this is a plastic body. You have seen plastic. Okay, I will apply the force. Force डालने के बाद क्या होता? So its the dimension and its shape will change. अभी कैसे इतना अभी कुछ तो है ऐसे force डाले, force डालने के बाद think that it is a plastic है ऐसे सोचो. हाँ, force डालने के बाद ऐसे मैंने खींचते, whether the dimension and shape change होता क्या नहीं? If it is a plastic है तो मैंने force डालने के बाद इसका dimension and shape change होता क्या नहीं? बोलो.
होता है
Yes,
सर.
होता है.
definitely.
Yes,
It's
it will be
dimensions
change
will
its shape
change.
and dimensions.
हाँ, अभी force remove करने के बाद if it is in plastic material, whether the material will get its original shape को आता क्या है? Plastic
No,
में
sir.
है तो no,
No.
it will not come to its original shape. Then that is called as plastic body. So you should know what is body, what is rigid body, what is elastic body, what is plastic body. Rigid body में क्या होता? It will not change its dimension and shape after the application of the force. Force डालने के बाद it will not change anything. Elastic में क्या होता? It will change its shape and dimensions, but when you remove the forces, again it will regain its original shape and size. Original shape and size मिलता plastic में, when it comes to the plastic body में क्या होता? So when you apply the forces on the body, it will change its dimension and shape, but when you remove the forces, it will not come back to its original shape and size. It is permanent stage. Okay, ऐसे एक प्लास्टिक बॉटल है, वो ऐसे फोर्स डाल के चेंज करो, चेंज करने के बाद पूरा बैक हो जाए, ओरिजिनल शेप को आएगा ना? No, it will not come to its original shape. That is called as plastic body. देखो इधर, मोशन ऑफ रिजिड बॉडी, एक रिजिड बॉडी है, आपको अभी पता है व्हाट इज बॉडी, व्हाट इज रिजिड बॉडी. ओके, रिजिड बॉडी इट विल नॉट चेंज इट्स साइज एंड शेप. इसमें इलास्टिक बॉडी, प्लास्टिक बॉडी एंड रिजिड बॉडी देखा था. अब 3 बेसिक रिजिड बॉडी मोशन. अभी देखो ये रिजिड बॉडी में कैसे कैसे मूवमेंट हो जाएगा. ओके, देयर आर 3 बेसिक टाइप्स ऑफ रिजिड बॉडी मोशन. One is translation. One is translation. See the translation. इधर एक body है. This is a body. From this point to this point, it has come. So it has changed its position. From this point to this point, it has come. It has changed its position. Means
Yes, sir.
position changing. See what it is written. The object as a whole, the object as a whole moves along the trajectory, but do not rotate. अभी body rotate हो रहा है क्या? No, it is moving in a trajectory. See, there is a one point. At this point, it is there. Okay, A point. Next, it is moving here. Next, it is moving here. Whether the body is rotating? No, it is not rotating. It is moving in a horizontal direction. Correct? Horizontal direction. This is called a translation motion. अभी देखो नेक्स्ट वन, एक रोटरी है. सो ऐसे ऐसे मूवमेंट हो रहे हैं. So this is rotating in this direction. This is rotating in this direction. ऐसे movement है. Rotational motion. The object rotates about a fixed point. Every point on the object moves in a particular circle. अभी देखो this is ऐसे, मैंने ऐसे ऐसे रोटेट कर दिया, रोटेट कर रहे तो whether the body ऐसे ट्राजेक्टरी में जा रहा है क्या, और only it is moving in a one fixed point. Body is moving in a one fixed point. Means ऐसे, so it is moving as a whole. As a whole, it is moving. That is called as rotational motion. अभी देखो this is one body. So there is a body in this direction. It is moving in this direction. It is moving in this direction. In this direction. In this. So it means it is in translatory as well as rotary motion, combination motion. An object rotates as it moves along the trajectory. अभी देखो इधर से इधर आने का है, बट कैसे आ रहा है? It is moving. Like best example for the combination of the two forces is earth rotation. Earth कैसे rotate हो रहा है? Earth it is rotating about its own axis, and also it rotates about the sun. Correct. So that is the best example for the parabolic trajectory. Someone has unmuted. Please mute yourself. Don't unmute. Okay. Whenever there is a class, you have to keep it in mute. When we ask the doubt or any question, then you have to unmute and speak. So what are the rigid body motion? One is translatory motion, one is rotational motion, and one other one is combination of motion. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Next, so first what we have seen, what is body, what is rigid body, what is elastic body we have seen. Next, fourth term is displacement. So what is displacement? Displacement is the distance traveled by the body or a particle a specific direction is called as displacement. अभी देखो, this is the best example I will tell. The screen is visible है ना? Screen पूरा.
Sir.
Okay. So this is A point. This is B point. Initially object was here A. Next in it has come to the point B. Initially the body was at a position. Finally the body will come to the position of B. Now कैसे आ गया है वो? So from a curved path है ना, this path से आके इधर तक आ गया. But what is displacement? Displacement is the shortest distance. I can say shortest distance. It is the distance of a body, distance moved by the body or a particle in specific direction, as it is called as displacement. अभी इधर से इधर आ गए ना, this is called the distance between these two objects is called as what? That is displacement. A से B तक हो गए ना वो. So what is the shortest distance between these 2 points? That is called as displacement. Then you can ask me, इधर देखो 7th one, distance. What? Wait 1 minute. Okay, from A to B आ गया. So मतलब initially object was at A point. Now the object came to B point. It means it has displaced हो गया ना. That is called as displacement. Again, what is the distance from A से B तक आ गया? कैसे आ गया? This is the path traveled by the object. Correct? The curved path है ना. ये curved path को क्या बोलते? This is called as distance. समझ में आया ना? What is distance and what is displacement? So the path traveled by the object is called as distance. Okay, what is displacement? Displacement is the shortest distance between any 2 points is called as displacement. अभी देखो, what is the difference between the distance and displacement? One is definition हो गया. So whether the distance is it will be equal to 0? 0 हो जाएगा क्या? इधर से इधर आ गया, is it equal to 0 हो जाएगा क्या? No, but displacement can become 0. अभी देखो ये है ना, बॉडी इनिशियल ए में था, अभी बी तक आ गया, वापस एक भी जाएगा. ओके, सो सी फ्रॉम दिस पॉइंट टू, सो from this point again it has come to the point, original point. Now can you tell me what is the displacement? Displacement कितना हो गया?
0.
0. Because why? Initially कहाँ पर था वो? Initially it was in A position only. So it has went to B position. Again it has come to the A position only. Means its displacement is 0. But its distance is this entire curved path. This entire curved path को distance बोलते हैं. Okay. You got the difference between the what is distance and displacement? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Next, what is velocity? Okay, we will see this velocity and acceleration in the next class. These are the important basic terminology which we are regularly using in engineering mechanics. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any doubt?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. So if you get any doubt at any point of time, you can raise your hand or you can write it in chat box, or you can ask, you can unmute and you can ask in the class only. Okay.
Okay.
So what we have studied in this class, we have studied what is mechanics, what are the how it is classified, different types of mechanics, and we have seen the forces, what is force, and some basic terminologies. Okay. So in the next class, we will see all the remaining terminologies. Okay. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.